Scott, how are you? And thank you very much for the intro and all the proper pre-Q&A dealings. If you guys can tell, I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm a little nasally, and so if I'm wheezing or coughing a little bit, please excuse me. It's just unfortunately the season. Joining me today is my very good partner, compadre, Brad Williams. He's here. Brad, let's make sure your sound check is good.
Good to be here, Dan. It's good to be in a separate room from you. That's the benefit of technology, right? So,
even though my feelings are hurt, I'm okay. I understand where you're coming from. I really do.
Good.
You know, guys, we have an hour and time is short, so let's fly because we have a heck of a session for everybody today. Before we start, we want to make sure everyone understands that Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. None of the things that you're going to hear are solicitations to buy or sell securities and are not to be construed as advice. This is for educational and informational purposes only. What I want to do is say, welcome and thank you, fellow financial truth seekers. You guys are the reason that we are succeeding beyond all of our expectations. We wouldn't be here if you weren't here, if you weren't participating in these Q&A webinars, asking the good questions and giving us the good suggestions that we hopefully then put in the software and make it even better. There's so much for us to cover. And this webinar is going to be pretty important because we have a very critical piece of news that everyone should be aware. But again, as 2018 starts, it's our job to kind of give you a flavor of where we're going, what we're up to right now. And let's just start at the beginning. One of the reasons why you're here and one of the reasons that we have been, again, succeeding is because most of you are tired of mediocre financial returns. You're tired of the same old buy and hold bullshit. You're tired of being told that 5% is good, 7% is good, and all of these things are just excuses so that people who are managing your money don't look terrible when they're underperforming. There's a critical problem with the finance system in the US, and part of it is the thing that we are solving and the reason that you're here, why all of us are succeeding. When people give all of their control of money to other people, well, it's a terrible place to be because obviously what happens is you're dependent on other people. And what we're doing here is we're breaking that cycle by showing you that you can speculate. There's never been a better time. It's not dangerous. It's not risky, or rather risk is in everything that we do, and it's rewarded. Whether you drive yourself to work, get on a plane, you know, buy some food that was packaged by someone else, everything in our life revolves around taking risks. And Trade Ideas, what we specialize in is helping you figure out the best way that you can take control of that risk and reward yourself in a way that you have never, ever imagined. The question, of course, is, well, what are you going to do? You know, Brad, I kind of joked about on Twitter that this kid, little Timmy Sykes, is the doorman or the bellhop to the stock speculation building in the United States. And what I mean by that, really, it's a metaphor for saying that when people come into the market, they're always bombarded by the guys like, hey, I'm going to make you a millionaire just like me. And it's so tempting to believe that because, as we all know, we don't really make decisions by logic. We are an emotional being, and we understand that, and I'm hoping that you guys understand that. But the people that are telling you that you're going to become a millionaire are primarily full of shit. It's not that you can't become a millionaire. That's, of course, possible. But the way that they sell their services to, you know, fleece the money of the people who are the ones that
they're preying on your emotion, Dan.
Yeah, they're taking it.
So pervasive.
They're taking advantage. So what we've done over the years is taken an approach where we wanted to remove all of the whiz bang and the come on, get over, let's go, do it. You know, all this stuff that you see in different chat rooms. And before that, it was, you know, as we have all grown up in this industry, the funny thing is the message kind of doesn't change. It's the actors who are, you know, spurting it out. So what we've done here is we've created a technological approach, a systems-based approach, where we're going to show you how executing risk, taking a strategy and a systems approach is the key to success. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch us to TradeIdeas Pro, and I'm going to use the web. And guys, don't be overwhelmed. There's nothing overwhelming here, because what you're seeing here is this is Netflix for the individual investor, and where you are right now is on a hybrid channel that I've created for this webinar, because I'm going to show you some things that that works. And by the way, David, Scott Adams is a huge influence on what we do, because he just happens to be correct. We believe it. Dilbert is our like internal motto. A lot of our engineers used to work for Lockheed Martin, believe it or not, and that's one of the places that destroys people in very creative ways. So all of their pain goes into trade ideas and the things we try to bring to the table. We are trying to destroy the illusion of mediocrity. That really is what we're doing. We want to destroy that illusion. And let me tell you how we do it, okay? So I'm going to dive right in and talk about the fact that the premium part of our service is the artificial intelligence that tells you what to do. At the very bottom of the screen, and by the way, Brad, we need to be able to move these back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, you see how I get Brad? He has no way to combat my demands at a Q&A webinar. Poor guy. Anyways, so today, the software had 9 trades for you, okay? And here are the data points, here are the stocks, and in fact, what's happening right now is, whether you like it or not, our software is teaching you something, okay? Because as I am talking, our software is surfing you through the actual trades that went into the artificial intelligence. But before we get started, it's kind of interesting, because Brad and I were getting set up for this Q&A, and Brad told me, he's like, Dan, why are you on our risk on profit, which is only 29 cents, where risk off profit is $1.29? That's how we ended. In other words, if you took the AI literally, if you traded every single stock the way it was meant to be traded, you would be up $1.29. But I wanted to do something different. And this is something that Brad and I talk about all the time, but there's so much hidden potential in the signals that most people don't see. So let's take a look at what happened. The first trade of the AI was in a stock called HTGM. Notice that when I click on a symbol, the surfing pauses. It pauses so that it knows that, well, you're looking at something, let's let you look at it. So here we are, Brad, we're in HTGM. The software told you at 7:05, which is 35 minutes after the open. So in other words, nothing was going on for 35 minutes. A lot of times people think that trading is whiz bang. You gotta, come on, scalping, you know, this word that's been passed along, scalping, day trading, all these words are kind of sadly disinformative words, and sometimes disinformation is given to you even by the people with good intentions. You do not have to scalp to be a successful investor. You do not have to be a day trader to be a successful investor. The time you hold, again, and I've said this Brad, maybe every single time we've done a presentation. But the time you spend inside an investment has everything to do with simply one thing and one thing only, your risk tolerance. And of course, as David Schulte pointed out, and as I mentioned before, the overall systems approach. So let's talk about HTGM. At 7:05, you got a signal to get in at $3.28. Now let's take a look here. Let me go back, zoom out, zoom in just a little bit more. So $3.28 was somewhere around here, Brad?
No, it was actually a little bit earlier. You actually zoomed in a little too tight.
But isn't this on Eastern time, this one, or no?
No.
No? Okay,
Nope.
you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. It was right here.
Yeah, it was a great entry, right at that big bar.
Right. So right at 328, which would have been right around here, the software told you to get in. Okay, now of course you can say, well, I don't know if I would have. Hey, that's all right, because if you missed it, you know, it went up to 340 something, but then it came all the way back to what, Brad? Right around our entry price.
Yeah, it was 330, 331.
Right. And that's when it really then started to take off subsequently on the percentage basis. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I talk about risk on and the potential. So if you look at what was going on when the software started, look at this curve. Okay, you started, then as you started to go, look how high it got. And this is, and again, we're adding functionality, adding features and improvements. So you're going to soon be able to see the time scale. But about 30 minutes in, 30 or 35 minutes in, you were up approximately $2.10. So Brad, Brad, you, the master trader, you see what I'm trying to show people.
Yeah, I mean, you put a big smile on my face because yeah, you know, what you're articulating is it's not all about the end number right there, that 0.29. There's just so much opportunity that existed from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. That end of the day is just 0.29, but you went up $2, you came back $1.50, you went back up to $2, and you know, that's just trading one share. So that's great volatility and great profitability, in my opinion.
Well, there's no question. It's not an opinion, but it's important to point out that the system that we created, our systems approach, we tried to make it as flexible as it possibly can be, meaning that, well, if you missed something, well, you could have come back and still caught it. In fact, here you would have had more time to be in the whole move and catch them. Like you had one chance to catch this 220, and then you had another chance to catch the 220. So there were two separate long-term kind of ways that you could have caught much of the P&L. That's what we're really trying to show you. Of course, look at the percentages. The big winners are much bigger than the big losers. The thing that we are simply trying to showcase is that we've got the approach that you should be looking at. Our software has no bias other than making money. That's it. We have taught the software to be a human trader. We didn't teach it to be a hedge fund. We didn't teach it to be a portfolio analyst or any of these other ridiculous things that you hear everywhere else in traditional financial media. We taught it to do one thing and one thing only: speculate well in a systems approach. What's happening is behind the scenes, underneath all of this data, okay, the software right now, and we've said this at other webinars, right now the software, while I am talking and hopefully showing you that this is what you should be looking at, what you should be focusing on, the software is working right now. This is what machine learning and AI is all about. The software is telling you that you cannot possibly, as a human, do the kind of homework that we're doing automatically. That's why you should come with us. It's that simple. But on that note, Brad, there's something else that I want to show. You know, part of what we want to do is always be ones that are better than all the others, okay? Here's a window called the halt resume window. And this is one of the beauties of what we do at Trade Ideas. I mean, this is a simple alert, yet we're alerting on something that I'm not sure too many other people have in terms of, something that's available in the market, but you can see very easily how it works. Okay, check it out. At 12:31, NHLD was halted. And at 12:41, 10 minutes later, it opened higher. Again, people that can catch these moves, because this is what we alert to in real time. And by the way, again, not just on the AI, but from a discretionary point of view. This is the risk taking you need to understand that you need to get comfortable taking. You need to be comfortable getting into trades and being able to simply apply the systems approach of managing the rules. Following the AI is the best way that you could possibly set yourself up to learn how to do it. Because the AI is Tiger Woods, Laird Hamilton, Kobe Bryant, whichever sport that there is an expert in. This is what we do. There is no trader that can compete with this technology in the world today. Not a single one. This is because we as humans, we simply can't process that kind of information, Brad. And and when we know it, and we're growing because of that. Because what I'm telling you guys, this isn't a sales shtick. This is if there's anything that you can get out of this webinar, this Q&A, it's one thing and one thing only. Tomorrow morning, this channel will come up. There's going to be strategies. They'll be empty. And then as the software finds something that it sees through the AI eyes that's working, you will see a signal. It might be long, it might be short. You can review the stock information. You can see, is the float big? What's the short float? So like for every stock here, okay, you can see, okay, 10 million float, 22% short. Wow, you can almost see why this thing could go up. You can read about in one stroke what this thing does. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to get you to quarterly revenue growth of 300%. So that you can quickly just reinforce possibly why the AI is doing what it's doing, although you, again, don't need to figure it out. The human desire to know the answer, to figure out, kind of works against the whole notion of flow states and being in the zone. Again, whether it's Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, or anybody else, when they are at their best, they're not thinking, they're doing. And that's what we want you to understand is also in the stock market. You don't want to be an analyst. People always confuse themselves. They think that individual who wants to make money in the stock market has to be this guy that's like, and Brad, are you ready for me to age myself?
Uh-oh, okay.
Oh boy, here we go. So, Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees of Separation of Kevin Bacon, in a very cute 80s/90s movies called Quicksilver. Brad, this is the age of where you might have seen that movie.
It sounds familiar, but I can't picture it. I can't place it.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne's in it, and Kevin Bacon starts off in this movie as being this stockbroker, trader, whatever, and of course gets his parents, puts all of their money into a trade, and of course loses it all, ends up being a bicycle delivery guy. But at the end, the montage at the end where he succeeds is like he's going over the Wall Street Journal and he's just got his glasses on and he's underlining and he figures something out and boom, invests everybody's money and everybody wins, haha, shake hands, credits. Okay, that doesn't happen in real life. And that's the problem. There's this bullshit meme that goes around Twitter called study, do your homework. These memes are perpetrated by people like Tim Sykes and the other gurus on Wall Street that want you to kind of chase your tail. Now, I'm not saying that all studying is bad. No. I'm just saying that you spending 4 hours looking at charts isn't going to do anything for you because you're in essence pretending that you are our software. But you aren't. So there's nothing you can do in the 4 hours of studying charts that's going to help you. What can help you is watching the AI, following it at 100 shares, 50 shares, 200 shares, whatever is comfortable, and getting a feel for these trades, and then eventually, hopefully, getting all of them. That's your advantage. Once you learn how to do that, well, then you can jump and do something else. You can find opportunities in other places because, again, remember, the AI is doing something, but it's not doing everything. We didn't design it to be uber aggressive. In other words, we don't want it to try to kill people. There are traders out on Twitter that are very good. They're TradeIdeas affiliates. And by the way, if any of you have a large social following, talk to us about the affiliate side of TradeIdeas. The bottom line is once you get good, there's opportunities that you can really jump into. Let's look at this. PTIE. Gaps up. Look at this move. These are the things you don't hear about on CNBC. Typing in, Brad White, never mind. Okay, here's another example. On this day, we told our subscribers, or told rather, the software told their subscribers there's action in my size. And it ended up being like a risk off, like 40% winner just on that day. But look what happened the next day. And of course, you know, greed is taken advantage of. But still, look at the percentages, you know, from $1 to $3.50. And we're talking about lots of volume. We're talking about this is the non-mediocre returns. Okay? There's nothing mediocre about something that goes from $1.25 to $3.50. Brad, how are we doing on questions?
I think we're good. I think we're caught up. I've been trying to keep up here. There's Steve was asking about cryptos. You might want to.
Okay, well, let me go on the blockchain channel. First of all, one of the things that I want to show you, and it's kind of a little subtle, but I'm using the web. And when I'm using this web-based version, notice that as I switch channels, half of my windows are staying the same. What this means is I'm able to have not only a channel view, but I'm also able to have a channel view with my own custom view. So there's so much flexibility now that was never available, was impossible to have before on the web-based software, but now it works, okay? You can literally go and do something as simple as try to find stocks that are Chinese, for example. You don't have to do a lot of setup to get instant access and instant feedback, whether it's China, whether it's something like active trading, where we know, for example, people who already have market experience, and as you get better, you just want information that's flowing at a different rate. So just like Netflix or Ski Mountain, we have different channels that give you different opportunities to see different things. Like, for example, right now the market is closed and I am able to quickly see what's moving after hours by simply going to our after hours channel. So yes, so everything that I'm doing here, you can do on the desktop. In fact, the desktop's probably a little bit faster because it's not web-based. But again, everything is available. You can really customize the software to see, to have a look and a view that really is tailored to you. But the important thing that we want to show is that it's not about tinkering, it's about utilization. So I know a lot of you have questions like, how do you do it? How can some of this stuff be done? What I want to say is that in this Q&A webinar, as a resource, we don't want to spend too much time on the uber technical things on how to do something, because we have so many forums for that. For example, every single part of the day, I'm going to go right here and just share this. We have a free, completely free trading room that does not require a subscription. We can do that because we run a real money-making business, a successful business, and this to us is an ancillary component that helps the education of our traders, the community, and everything that we do. It's moderated by Barry Anderson, an amazing moderator who not only moderates the room, but is trading in real time, shares many of his signals, and that is where we also have other people from Trade Ideas helping each other. We have a support tab in there where all of these questions that you do, they can be asked. It's just that, again, you don't want to waste your time with the CEO on right click, file, open, and etc. I'm just making sure everyone knows that we have so much support. Whether it's YouTube and you Google Trade Ideas videos, you will see literally anything and everything that you could possibly want. But this component right here, this is humanity. Barry talks. Just like I'm talking to you right now, Barry's talking. He's showing you which trades, and there are so many good other Trade Ideas users there. It's a legitimate meritocracy that funnels the best to the surface. Waleed, thank you very much. I mean, we know a lot of you guys already know, but I just want to make sure that it's something that everyone's aware of. So here, guys, look at what you see, Trade Ideas Pro. I want to make sure that you know how quickly I can switch from the two different things. Here, I'm in Trade Ideas Web. On a tab, I minimize, and this is our application, Trade Ideas Pro. Some of the things that now I'm going to talk real quick about what differentiates us on Trade Ideas Pro. What Trade Ideas Pro does, it really takes it to another level by doing chart gradients for risk. In other words, every trade you get into, okay, every single trade, our AI assumes that it's in it also at the point that you look at the stock. So imagine this. Let's somebody give me a name of a stock that's not Apple or Netflix or Google or whatever. Somebody here, whoever wants to, just anybody, give me a name of a stock that you think is interesting, and I'm going to show you what we do. Okay, perfect. That's it. That's enough, guys. Perfect. I'll do a couple of these. In fact, I'll do them all. So let's stop them there. So what does our software do differently from everybody else? I'm going to type in TGT. Okay, TGT. Our software says, okay, if I'm in it right here, roughly speaking, well, this is where I would get out, is what the software says. Based on the volatility, based on how target's been trading. Now you can see what this looks like on the daily. In other words, the software tries to give you the rope, you know, the support, so that you're not dangling out there. Every stock has this. Now, even though the AI doesn't think necessarily that this should be a trade, we've made it pretend on every single stock, so that if you are getting into something, now you have the additional helping hand. Let's look at the other stock. Here we go, IEZA. Now here, notice you have this area. Brad, what am I showing people in this dark shaded area?
Well, just tuning in, it looks like it's probably the post-market data.
Correct. So you are able to, on the properties, you can see, show me pre-market, show me post-market. If I get rid of it, boom, it's gone. And now again, you can see this is your profit area, the nice blue sky, and this is where your danger zone is, okay? So if you were getting in, this is where the software would be getting out, based on how it sees the actual, literal, real data. Now I'm gonna go to the other stock. Okay, notice, if you're in, this is your out. Here's your profit target. Again, terribly sorry about my voice. You can, of course, zoom in on the charts. I'm still going through the stock, COGT. I'll answer the other questions. Don't worry. Okay. Again, let me zoom out. Here you go. Based on how this stock is trading, okay, look at the relative volume of 38. See, understand, why would the AI put the stop loss here? Well, because a stock that's trading 38 times its normal volume is in a state of extreme volatility, which means that you give it more room. Okay, and the software figures it out for you. Notice I didn't have to configure anything. I didn't have to do anything. Okay, let's go to SQ. Here's your stop. Again, our software understands that everything you look at is a possible trade. Therefore, everything you look at, it will give you support to help you do better. Okay, so guys, there's lots of times, there's a lot of confusion about timing and investing, and I want to dispel some of this a little bit. You know, people say, well, how, again, there's a question about timeliness. Take a look at the window right here. Everything is given to you in exact mode. First of all, in TradeIdeas Pro, on the downloadable version, there's an intense, insane amount of details. Notice the signals for the AI are marked. See this blue line? That's where the AI got you in. So now you can walk right through, like, what would have happened? This was the signal. If you missed it, you could have gotten it here and ridden it here. But if you missed that part, you could have definitely had from here to here. Again, not the best entry, not the best exit, certainly, but just a nice, 10%, something like that. Look at the signals. The historical signals are there too. So one of the things that's really kind of cool about what we do, all of our charting, everything that we do, we don't use any third party anything. You know, this isn't TradingView, this isn't Chart IQ. We joke about all of the third party vendors. We do everything ourselves because our developers are smarter and better, and we've had them for 13 years. Think about this, guys. The team at TradeIdeas, there's been no turnover. Yeah. Our group is continuing to work and improve the technology. And anytime that our software, the AI, has had a signal in it, you can see it. So here, it thought that TIVA was a buy, but it didn't work. Here's another one that did work. Do you think this could be a good swing trade? That's the other question people ask us. Well, is this just for day trading or swing trading? Guys, it's for whatever trading that works. And again, remember, your exit, it's not based on us. It's based on your risk tolerance. If you have an account of 5 million, you can hold something longer than if you have an account of 50,000. It's that simple. The market favors the more capitalized. That's just the truth of the nature. So again, if you are a premium TradeIdeas subscriber, these buy arrows already appear on your screen. You already have them. Okay. Not every stock has them because Holly has not traded every stock. But this, by the way, kind of helps me figure out a little bit of, or at least it gives me another vantage point of if I'm getting into a Holly trade or not. Because again, that's your human discretion. You don't need to be human discretionarily trying to figure out which moving average crosses which moving average and MACD, RSI, whatever the hell people say that they do and that works but actually doesn't. What we do is like, hey, let's take a look. Has the AI been good at this one? So look, I just zoomed out. The AI nailed this one, especially if it was a swing. Then it got us into here. Now look. Here's what we talk about. It favors the more capitalized. Somebody with less money probably couldn't sit through something like this because look, it went from here to here. That's a pretty big percentage for a small stock. Okay, so knowing that it caught this move and then it caught this longer move lets me know that you know, again, is something that I might like that, especially since this and this are very similar. So again, that's how I'm now making my decisions. Instead of using indicators, I use the AI as the actual indicator. When I see AI action, I have more confidence in what I'm seeing. And this is your advantage. This is what you should be doing as well. So any channel, by the way, so let's go to Alpha Predator. It's just a channel that we designed that specifically looks at a certain type of high volatility, okay? Look, buy, 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 buy. The AI was thinking this thing was going. And by the way, from here, it really was going. This one was great. This one was great. But look, this is the other lesson. You must be able to execute risk management, which we talk about all the time. Buy and hold is a joke that the mainstream financial media puts on the American public. It's a lie. It's a joke. It's designed to make you do stupid things. Imagine buying and holding, but in driving. It's right turn only. Just turn right. Just keep turning right. But there's no road. Turn right. This is, again, why you're here. This is why I'm happy. This is why we are working together. Okay? So again, you can see, whoa, hey, AI's never done anything here. Okay? Cool. What about here? Whoa. Again, let's zoom out a little bit. Look at this. Again, here, by the way, remember, the AI is not just a long system. Our AI goes short too. So here it had a short sell. It went down. It jumped back up. But look at what happened here. I mean, do you guys understand? This is what we talk about all the time. That this is the stuff this is the dream. It's the impossibility for humans. And then because the AI is not emotionally attached like we all are to everything, you know, when we have a good trade, and Brad, you've seen me do this. How do I raise my hands?
I don't know, dude. I've been doing questions. I haven't been. How do you raise your hand? Sideways?
Victory.
I don't know.
Remember me raising my hands in victory when I was a younger man.
Oh, I remember that. Yes. I remember that period of time.
When I was a younger, less married, more flamboyant trader, upon a great win, I would run around with my hands in victory and do the victory dance, which of course only led me to make mistakes afterwards, because that isn't really the proper way to do it, as you would hopefully see by watching things like World Series of Poker.
Isn't that your silhouette on the Price Up on the Gainers channel, the Price Up Movement channel?
Yes. It's my mythical silhouette. But look, but I'm just saying, Brad, I mean, when I watch this and when I look at this, I go, oh my God. MRTX is going to explain to you why this Q&A is actually very important. Look at what you're seeing. Short at 17, goes down to 4, buy signal, long drought. Again, this is here where an investor can get in, but you're not really down a lot if you execute risk management, which we all talk about. Now time goes by, nothing's going on. Another buy signal. And then boom. I mean, between this and this, and by the way, it went short at 1920, and you would have to cover. The AI is not always right, but it's just right a lot. And risk management takes care of the rest. Guys, look at these signals. Let me go to the social media channel, okay? Here you will see, whoops, what happened? Did I go to Twitter. Back to where we were. Okay, so here we had an AI signal to buy Twitter at 20 on, what day is this? On December 1st. Again, these are things that you are seeing that now everybody sees. By the way, if you want to know what this is, This is another killer tool that we have, and I'm going to delete it real quick. I'm going to show you again that how people interact with the AI itself. So here is a stock, RMGN. It's a network stock, and it looks like it could get ready to go. So what I do is I right-click right here, and I create a price alert for it, and I say, looks amazing. No RSIs, no MACDs, no PDQs, and look, here it is. It's my blue signal. If it gets triggered, it turns green. There it is. Now, if I go over here, and by the way, here you see another one of these. This is just stock that I had a signal for that was triggered, and I come back, it's all there. It's all there. Every channel is like that. It gives you an ability to work with the tech. Whether it's surge, short squeeze, you know, we talk about the dynamics of the market, the fact that the market is such that it doesn't work the way most people have been taught, because again, most people just don't understand what real supply and demand is. And one of the things that's missing from most people's understanding of it is how short float and the float itself work. Okay, so here you have a lot of people who are betting against the stock. Now, just because they may be right doesn't mean that it's going to go down. In fact, again, it could be the opposite. When someone's betting against the stock and it's visible to the people who are not betting against the stock, they can use that information, again, to beat the speculator. It's like you're playing somebody poker, but they're showing you their cards. By the way, even when they're showing you their cards, they can still win because they can have the better cards. But let's just face it, if you know what they have, you have a slightly better advantage. I mean, it's that simple. So just a quick high-level overview. What do you see at Trade Ideas that you're not going to see at TradingView or anywhere else is the fact that all of these things are automated. Remember I said the software thinks, even though it's doing its own thing. Okay, by the way, look at the buy here at 9, went up to 39. It actually had a short because, again, mathematically, the software knew that this thing was way overdone. But in these situations, when you've got a float of 5 million, when you're off, you just have to get out. But could you, if you could have waited till it came back and shorted it at this price, look at how well you could have done. That's, again, working with better information. Working with better information. And ultimately, look, you must use risk management. We never, ever say that our system is a system that's always right. There's no such thing. It's just that it's going to be right much more than you, and it's not emotional. And that's why you need to be using it if you're serious about getting outsized returns, and if you're tired of mediocrity. Okay. On our web-based platform, we follow the cannabis stocks, and my gosh, they have been on fire. So the idea here is, with us, you're just not going to miss anything. You know, it's going to be a function of, are you well capitalized enough, and can you execute the risk? Can you execute the risk? Look at this stuff. Look at the beauty. It's possibly, and I mean, Brad, now you and I, again, being so old that we got to see things like CMGI run, you know, hundreds of points in a day. I mean, I don't know if it's that kind of mania of the dot-com bubble in the 90s, but I don't know if that needs to come back. You know,
no, I don't know if it's the same mania, right? But there's still opportunities that exist like that every day. It's just not going to get 20 and 30 of them like there were back in the day.
Yeah. All of the Holly strategies are explained. And again, if you work with us, you'll understand that our support is bar none. We are the valet, high-level, high-touch support firm, from Barry's trading room to our videos to one-on-one support sessions. Sorry, guys. We have 10 minutes left. in this webinar, and I got to go into one of the most important slides that there is. So look, something big's happening. In Q1, February, we're going to be raising prices. Why are we raising prices? Well, guys, we're innovating in a way that is unheard of, and you've seen what I've shown you, okay? There's going to be, roughly speaking, a 20% increase across the board. This is a very important slide for you, because one of the things we do, just like the market, we reward early adopters. What does that mean? Well, if you subscribe right now, before, well, I don't want to sound all cheesy. In the next 10 minutes, if you subscribe before we raise prices, you get to be grandfathered into your rate. We still have people that pay $45 a month for the software, people that have been with us since 2003. Yeah, think about that, guys. I don't know how many other software vendors can tell you that. We have customers who have been with us since 2003 and they're still here because we are the best. You can't do this in TZ2000. Can't do this in TradingView, FinViz, StockFetcher, none of the above. So this is the thing that you need to know. If you're at that point where you're thinking about it, this should be the impetus. Why pay more when you can pay less and keep those rates? The other important thing is we're getting closer and closer and closer, guys, to having you be able to actually let Holly kind of trade almost fully automatically for you with interactive brokerage. Right now, and Brad, I'm not even going to get back to the software, but I'm just saying that right now we have quite a few people who, when they see a trade, okay, never mind, I have to show it. Okay, let's go right here, back to the AI. Let's go back to, notice everything can be sorted. So here I'm sorting it by entry time. So HTGM appears. Watch my right click menu. Right click, trade HTGM. This will go to right now interactive brokerage. We have a connection called Brokerage Plus, new Brokerage Plus, and anybody, and again, if you want to let the software do a lot more for you, if you're not into tinkering, Brokerage Plus is your thing. And again, I'm not going to discuss all of its features here, but we're going to be doing much more with it. It's already an immense tool set for the astute trader. So you can basically just go right click, send the trade, and you can customize how you want to do it. So you can have, 100 shares, $1,000. You can put your own twist on the stops. You can have Holly basically do everything for you in essence. Brad, did I miss something there?
No, that's pretty comprehensive. I think you're right on.
No, we do not have any business relationship with IB other than they're just where we send the orders. We get money just from you guys. That's it. We succeed because of you. We succeed because you believe in us and you've shown us how valuable that belief is, and we are eternally grateful. That again brings us back to this. Why pay this when you can pay this? That's really all that I want to say. Right now, this is the subscription sheet. This is the difference between the standard and the premium. And of course, for coming to this webinar, we're giving you guys another 15% off with this promo code HollyCoin, because of course we're also getting into Bitcoin. You'll be able to chart it soon. You can have AI action on Bitcoin, and soon we're going to have Bitcoin trading. I mean, guys, we're going for it all, taking the whole thing over. Instead of Bloomberg, it's going to be called Brad Williams. We're going to have a double name for our business. Are you going to the Brad Williams Tower?
All right, big fella.
You don't want a Brad Williams tower, Brad? Come on
over.
So again, this is the price sheet, and let's get a little bit of just understanding. Today's AI software that I showed you costs $4.40 a day. This is so you just understand where we're coming from and why prices are going up. This is your promo code, HollyCoin. And by the way, last year we made it into the Inc. 5000. This year we're taking over Inc. when Brad buys it and calls it Brad Williams Inc. He's very strange is that he puts his name everywhere. I don't know what's going on there, but
Who else does that?
it's hard to control other people. I just, let him do whatever he wants. Brad Williams Building, Brad Williams Inc., fine. But we're probably going to be #1 on this, or at least in the top 10.
Yeah, we don't need to be greedy there, right?
Right. If you want to get a hold of us, we're super easy to get a hold of. If you aren't afraid of crazy things, you can follow me on Twitter at TradeIdeas1. Again, guys, I pull no punches. If you want the more corporate side of Trade Ideas, at Trade Ideas is available for you. We have a Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. And of course, anytime you have a question, info@tradeideas.com. I'm available also. I'm not afraid to talk to people. I interact with people on Twitter all the time. I go to the trading room and I sometimes come in, give a little bit of hint, drop little bits and pieces like QAnon, but more like TAnon, Trade Ideas Anonymous, tell you like what's coming. But the general gist is we've got nothing to hide. We're a uber successful firm without any investors. In other words, we don't have to sit there, listen to directors, tell us what we need to do. We do it ourselves listening to you guys. We are here for you. You have made us successful and we are making you successful. It's a positive sum game. So this is what we have for today's webinar. I mean, the most important thing is if you're not doing it yet, do it. If you haven't upgraded, you should probably upgrade because, again, prices are going up and functionality is improving all the time. Our development does not stand still. Whether it's the web, and you can see web has evolved so much in 1 year. Now, the web-based version doesn't have all the annotation. Okay, that's the difference. Whereas when you go to TradeIdeas Pro, you see all these buy signals and the proper chart annotations and things like that. The web-based version does not get that. If you have issues with, again, whether it's emails or whatever, info or support, we will get to you. We have some of the best support in the world. All right, everybody, that's all that I have. We can stay here and answer some more questions right now. Brad, how are we doing?
We're doing good. A lot of questions, but we're caught up. We are.
Yeah, so guys, the 15% is, of course, just for the first month. However, if you buy the annual, well, then you get 15% off of the year. It's that simple. For the monthly, it's just on the first month, but if you're purchasing an annual subscription, which is by far the best deal, then you get 15% off everything. We have a tech support person who's like a Mac wizard. So we definitely can help with all of that. Brian, this is not binary options, this is stocks. We don't do any of that binary. We do the stuff where you can really win. Okay, the more you get all complicated, like with the binary options and all this stuff, and that's why we don't really get too much into Forex because the market there is a little tricky. But in the stocks, you can win, it's liquid and it's cheap. That's the thing. It's liquid and it's cheap. There's no better time to invest because commissions are virtually zero. You don't have to worry about the spreads as much because the spreads aren't that big. So there has never been a better time for the individual investor to try things out for themselves. Better than when Brad and I did it in the early 90s, because the technology is so much better now. We created the product that we wish we had when we started. I mean, it's really...
That's exactly it.
That's exactly it. We are our, we're like the hair club for men. We are our own customers. All right, everyone. I want to thank you again for coming. Without you, we couldn't be here. Appreciate it. Scott, are we all set with the recording and everything else?
Yes, we are good. If anyone is missing anything or has any questions, just shoot us an email, info@trade-ideas.com, and we'll have a recording up tonight or by tomorrow morning.
Wait, so Scott, one last question I want to answer. Jeff Mason, good question. Could be an ICO 2020 for Trade Ideas. No IPO, ICO 2020. That's the internal. All right, guys. Thank you.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Take care.